Single paycheck. Sundays at 8 a.m. on WSW for your financial and power hour. Facing our planning and regulations investment in your money. They will give you information like how your 401k's tax advantages, portability, and enable workers to grow sizable and important nest eggs. Ability can also be costly if you are overweight. With those investment classes, have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and
I do, however, have the access open.
all
All right.
or visit medicaleinvestmentadvisors.com. Just a little
Oh, so you got to get it up on the other computer. Well, I can give you the URL address.
Yeah.
All right, this is what you put up in the search. Two, four, 4, 7, dot 239 dot 136.
CW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Indeed, Westside Decorating Center, our sponsor at 5789 State Street in Saginaw, with a newly expanded showroom and expanded product lines. Everything you need for home decorating, you're going to find it at Westside Decorating Center. Good morning to you. Welcome to the Art Lewis Show for this first day of August, believe it or not. And as is tradition, and I've forgotten how many years I've done it. Well, I came here in 1974, and that's the first year I did it. Been doing it ever since. We are at the opening day of the Saginaw County Fair at the fairgrounds up the road in Chesaning. And what a great day. The opening ceremonies are going on right now as we speak in the background. And it is Veterans and Active Military Day with free admission with military ID all day. And seniors, non-military, ages 60 and older, like me, it's only $10 to get in. And I said like me because my guest this morning would point it out if I didn't. We have a very special guest with us. If you're watching this on the stream, you can see him in the studio. I'm down at the fairgrounds. He's in the studio. And he is the one and only head honcho of the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. We say good morning to Dan Streeter.
Good morning, Art. You definitely read my mind. When you started talking about how you couldn't remember, well, that's one of the side effects of having done it so many times.
Yeah, I have a lot of fond memories of the fair, though. I mean, I have told this story numerous times. When I came here as a young man from New York City, thinking the only cow in the world was Elsie who gave milk. I had a rude awakening. I went to the Saginaw County Fair and saw this big machinery and all kinds of agriculture, and it was really my introduction into the world of agriculture. And I learned a lot since. But
yeah, definitely.
Really the eye opener for me. I mean, I'd never seen anything like it in my life, and it was pretty good. So Dan is with us for a reason. That's also, as I said, coming to the fair is an annual event. There's another annual event that takes place for a couple of weeks in the summer that helps the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan get through the summer financially, of course. So Dan, tell us what's happening before we get into some of the nitty-gritty of the mission work and all that. Tell us what's happening.
So just as you're talking about the county fair, that's a perfect example of so many great activities that have happened all through the state during the summer. It's very easy for us to get distracted. There's this community has been just an abundant blessing to be able to help Rescue Ministries for 118 years since 1905, helping provide a place of care for those that are homeless and struggling in poverty and all the issues that happen around there. And so just as we're talking about go spend your day out at the fair, many times people are doing their summer vacations and they don't think about making that gift to make a difference for those that are struggling in homelessness. And so August traditionally has been one of our lowest months of giving, but it's clearly understandable when there's so many offerings in the state. So we brainstormed with some of our donors several years ago and started up what's called the Summer Match Campaign. So some leadership gifts are being assembled together, have been assembled together, and we have some match dollars with the idea of hoping that those that are out there and enjoying Michigan during the summer might think about taking a second to stop and to make a donation. So we have passionate donors with a mission that have pledged $72,000 to be able to help us during this summer slump.
Now that's 72,000 matching dollars.
Yes. So if your listeners were to respond, then we could see $144,000 come in over these next 2 weeks.
Significantly larger than I remember in the past, it seems.
Well, it's one of those things that, that takes momentum because people love to make a difference. And when they know that they can help encourage somebody else to do something as well, it's amazing how contagious doing good becomes. And so that's part of the reason why the number has gotten up to 72,000, because they would love to see operations continue to be sustained. But But part of the reason why it's also critical, not only do donations historically go down, but our occupancy goes up. And I know, another reason why the donations go down is because people think summer, they don't think about homelessness. You usually think about it during cold weather and you think about it being life threatening. But the reality is that our shelters are just as full as capacity. Last night, 233 people needed a place to stay.
That's more than normal, isn't it?
That's slightly above average, usually somewhere around 220. So yes, the numbers are up slightly, and we're right near full capacity. And that's part of what happens almost every August. And a lot of it is our families, our mothers and kids, mom, dads, and kids. That's usually where the spike happens. Part of my theory is there's kind of two reasons. One is because when there's summer months going on and it's warm out, people are less inclined to be saying, well, you can stay here with me and sleep on my couch. And sometimes the heat and the tensions, they're a little bit more ready to pull the trigger to have somebody leave the house where they're doubled up.
Out of curiosity, this is not local, but have you had conversations with other missions around the country? How, for example, is Arizona or Texas handling the heat waves, and what's their occupancy like?
So in those areas, they're definitely going to have what would be cooling centers, places where people can come in during the day. That would be more the pattern. And we do the same thing when we have severe weather, whether it's extreme heat or whether it's extreme cold, then we let people come in to be able to get out of the elements during that time. Over, in California, there's a whole different realm of homelessness because people will set up tent cities and cardboard cities, and you'll just see thousands and thousands of homeless individuals. We're fortunate we don't have those types of problems here, but a lot of it's because we're working meaningfully with each case in trying to keep people from repeating homelessness. That's usually what ends up with chronic homelessness, is when you have repeat cycles and not trying to help get people solutions out of it.
You have 233 souls in your care last night. How many of those will come back another period of time?
So an average length of stay is going to be somewhere around 45 days. And during that time, we're working with them to try to get, good, stable housing situations, try to get connected to vocational opportunities, long-term solutions, life skill classes going on, parenting classes. So trying to plug all the different holes that maybe are causing some of those gaps for things to unravel. What's always amazing to me is how many people in our community are living right on the edge. So 70% of the faces who come through and seek shelter, it's the first time that they've ever sought shelter. We put in some new programs over the last couple of years. One of them is Impact Designs, as well as parenting classes. Those are the types of things that we put in there to try to help end the tide of homelessness. If we could totally eliminate homelessness, to me, that would just be an amazing thing. And we're also looking at affordable housing for more long-term solutions. So all of these different ways that when you make a donation, you're helping us not only just provide 3 meals and a night's stay, but you're also helping us to try to build into lives. And obviously a person has to want that, but trying to make that difference.
I've got to take a break before I do something.
You can make a gift by calling directly 989-755-HOPE, which is 4673, or you can go to r3monline.org.
All right, we'll be back. We're talking to Dan Streeter. He's the Executive Director of Rescue Ministries of Michigan. We will take a break and then we'll be back with more with Dan from the Saginaw County Fair. And while I have your attention, let me tell you about the 2023 Saginaw County Fair going on now through Saturday. And today, August 1st, is Military and Senior Day. Veterans and active military, free admission with military ID all day. And the opening ceremonies just took place. Goat judging is taking place as we speak. Also, the Homemaker of the Year contest will be taking place over in the exhibit building. The Pure Michigan Fruit Pie competition will be right here in the pavilion where I am. 14 folks will be here to bring their pies for judging, sponsored by Michigan Sugar and WSPW. 10 a.m., horse show with English pleasure riding. There'll be all kinds of other activities going on throughout the day. And remember that admission to the park includes all the rides and the grandstand shows. One price covers everything. And of course, Food Truck Alley, they've got them lined up out there and all kinds of delicious goodies for you here at the Saginaw County Fair. Today through Wednesday, today and tomorrow, $15 to get in. Thursday through Saturday, $20. Seniors 60 and older, $10 until 1 p.m. every day. Children under 36 inches are free. Must be 36 inches to ride the rides. And you can get a mega pass available for all 5 days for just $60. It is the Saginaw County Fair every year since 1914. Located right here at the fairgrounds at Pete Road in Chester. Come on out, enjoy yourself at the 2023 Saginaw County Fair. We will be back after these notes. Good morning.
Indeed, you do. We instantly connect you with quality companies whose resumes and Indeed match your job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 easy.
Attorneys Joe Cordell, divorce works at far the practice. His children, even though they are honest, they will always be. The process is down to consent, physical custody, decision-making, as well as to
At the judge's corner.
you choose the lawyer that cares as much about
Rob, how are you?
Good, how are you, Art?
Good.
We'll see where the,
I have a sign.
we'll see where the ladies want to set up.
What kind of pie?
Fruit.
You name it.
Oh, all kinds.
Okay,
Oh,
this is gonna be good.
But they're all based on fruit.
oh, they got.
Have to have
like a
Michigan,
cherry
have
or-
to have Michigan fruit.
Mary, oh, okay, okay. I was
That's a
just
pretty
curious.
big spread, so.
Yeah,
I recommend a gold IRA from First State Group. To learn more, you get a free info kit on gold by texting the word shelter to 90.
Imagine that, Rob bought sugar.
I tell ya. You know how to pull a rabbit out of a hat.
On gold now.
All right, first, second, third place.
What I know about courage, I learned from my adopted mom. She said sometimes you
I
just
do
gotta
have
hold
the
on
stream
and
up.
know we got through it.
I can sit down in the studio, or you can zoom in. We'll just leave it up.
Yeah.
No, you hold on.
All right, every judge is gonna have all 14 recipes.
Learn about adopting a team from foster care. Imagine where we're at.
Oh, okay, I was gonna ask you.
That's what they look like. And what we're doing is, you know,
I
that,
numbered them.
that list that I gave you,
Yeah, but I numbered it for my judgment. So I just went right down the list.
perfect, that's what I got.
Good, all right,
Yep.
good.
See, they're
Number
all,
one.
they're all
Is
labeled
that,
right up
and they're
there,
the same order?
same order.
All right, that's good.
Let me just double check, I'll double check just to make sure.
This message is brought to you by Adopt US Kids, US Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
I just numbered them right the way you gave them. to me.
Yeah, no, that's perfect, and that's what I did.
back with you here at WSW. I'm not sure they call it that, but that's what we're calling it. And we are talking to Dan Streeter, the Executive Director of the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan. We are in a summer match campaign for the next 2 weeks. So Dan, let's talk about a little history of the ministry. And I know we do this every year during the big radiothon and everything, but I think it's good to refresh people's memory of how the mission got to be what it is. Because it didn't start out with all the things you're doing today. Expansion has been pretty prolific. Give us an idea of run us chronologically through the history of the mission.
Well, even as you were ending your previous segment and you talked about 1914 being when is that right? 1914?
Fair, yes.
Yeah, that the fair started. Yeah, it's amazing to think about what life was like back then. And I'm a part of, I've joined a group on Facebook where it shows all the different historical things that happens through Saginaw. It's just amazing to see. But the mission has a part of that, and we've got several pictures from back in 1905 to 1910 of what things were like back then. There was some. First year was 1905. Yes, there was 4 churches here in this area that were just extremely passionate about the needs that were happening of those that were struggling with poverty and the lumber industry that was starting to see a decline and so they heard about some programming over in the Grand Rapids area, and they invited Mel Trotter, who had started up Mel Trotter Ministries or the Grand Rapids Rescue Mission way back then, to come to Saginaw and to see if he would start up a similar work. And they raised the funds necessary. The first mission was right in between 2 saloons. And so they're right there on Washington and Genesee, so right near the river. And
I laugh, but it's really not funny because a lot of missions around the country got their start because of alcoholism.
Right, primarily, men and alcoholism. But it wasn't very long after the mission had opened back in 1905 that then the director's wife started up a ministry to prostitutes in that area. And so they had a separate home just for being able to help get ladies out of that lifestyle as well. And then as well, early on in the ministry, there would be a gospel wagon that would go out into the neighborhoods. And anybody who wanted to jump onto the gospel wagon could then come to the mission. There'd be an evening service, but then there'd also be a meal that would happen, and then they'd ride the wagon back. And so that's that's where a lot of the neighborhood help with poverty and things like that was intended for anybody that was in need that could jump in. So you think about the phrase "jumping off the wagon."
That's I was just thinking
exactly. That's exactly where that came from, because people would help to have that sustaining care, that just jump on the wagon, come get some help at the mission that night, and head back home. So we have our roots in helping to provide meaningful care for so many years, and we've seen it explode here within the last several years. And that's part of the passion that we have, is not only to help provide the immediate emergency solution, but to try to help rebuild lives. And really, if we could ever work ourselves out of a job, that would just be the most amazing thing. We're, always looking. Obviously, we have youth services that we've started up in Bay County with the youth shelter, and then also the opening of Labadee Lofts, a very unique, meaningful program for young adults 18 to 22 to try to help get them on the right track and a stable footing. But now we're also Impact Designs, the ministry with helping families and individuals as they move into their new apartments with all the furnishings. And I would really challenge your listeners to go onto our Facebook page, Rescue Ministries Facebook page, and you would see some of the before and afters. We fully stage a home for a family when they get the rental assistance, they sign the lease, and then we go in and we measure and we figure out everything. And we've just got a passionate group of volunteers that love to do this. We move in all the furnishings. We put the furnishings in, the beds, the linens, and fully stage the apartment for them so that it becomes home for them. We call it helping home happen. And so those are some of the meaningful things. Ever since we've launched that program, it used to be about a 50% success rate that people would stay stably housed. Now that percentage has gone up to a 95% success
wow.
rate.
Yeah.
So
Where do you find the housing? I mean, there's the other side of that coin. It's fine to have all the furniture and the fixings, but you got to have a place to put it.
that is definitely very difficult to find sustainable, affordable housing, which is also why we have it on our target to start to look into local neighborhoods and to start to help to renovate properties, so then that way we can help create new rental opportunities and new home ownership opportunities. So that's what's on our future as well, as we start to try to do more paths of sustainability.
But everything you create takes money. And that's what this match is all about.
It's definitely, as we talked about in the first segment, a chance for you to be able to help us with sustaining operations. And it's very easy to forget about making a donation in the month of July or August, two of our slowest months when it comes to donations, but definitely some of our busiest months. Over 233 people last night needed a place to stay. So when you make a donation, it'll get matched dollar for dollar. We have some very passionate donors who have said, we want to encourage others to give during these lean summer months. Please consider making a gift. And so we've done a multi-layer on this. You'll see Facebook ads. You'll see emails that will go out over the next 2. You'll even potentially see mail about this match. But here at WSGW, because you're one of our most faithful partners in helping to kick off this campaign. So today is day 1 of the campaign, hoping to make a difference over these next 2 weeks.
So if somebody wants to donate again, let's tell them where to do it.
Yep, you could potentially see a response device in your mailbox, and you could respond to that, send in a check, or you can go online to r3monline.org, or you can make a gift right now. Call 989-755-HOPE-4673. One of those 3 ways. No, Art, I was listening in that as you were closing out that first segment. You said something about an old goat contest. Is that
the goat judging is taking place?
Oh, goat judging. Oh,
no, I did not say that. I've known this boy a long time.
Hey, I was also wondering about, all the pie contest out there.
Mm-hmm.
You had so many pies. Normally it seems like you whittle the field down to about 6, but I think you have a new strategy on these pies.
I don't know, there's 14 of them. I'm not
Right.
judging.
Oh, you're not?
No, I'm tabulating, but
But I'm sure you're going to be sampling.
Well, that's different from judging.
I thought maybe that was the motivation for having 14 pies.
Well, 14 pies I could handle. Many years ago, at the encouragement of John Zender, retired chef from Frankenmuth, he got me involved in the national pie competition.
Oh, yeah.
I went down to Florida as a national judge. 53 pies in 2 days.
Wow.
Again, anytime soon.
That sounded like you were really suffering.
It was terrible. And I ended up I was in the cream pie division to start. And I figured, okay, we can handle that. Well, it turns out that was the biggest division. We had 2 full setups of cream pies rather than just one table with 6 judges. Then, after doing that, because we had 2 tables, we had to rejudge the top 3 of each table to come up with the cream pie winner, which then went to the grand championship, which I was then asked to judge. And there were something like 14 pies in that. So, and they were all kinds, So I was 53 pies. And that was the year, just as fate would have it, that was the year that Carol Celsius from Essexville won the national competition.
That's so cool.
And we were down there and we broadcasted down there. It was pretty neat. Everything just kind of fell together. Anyhow, we will take a break and come back. We're talking to Dan Streeter from the Rescue Ministries of Mid-Michigan, and more ahead on the Art Lewis Show from the 2023 edition of the Saginaw County Fair. Let me talk to you for a minute about my friends at McDonald Ford in Freeland. We're celebrating the automobile this month and the Automobile Heritage of Michigan, and we were highlighting dealers. And this week, we are highlighting McDonald Ford. And tomorrow, Tom McDonald Jr. will be with us on the program to talk about the auto industry and the McDonald family history in the auto industry. That will be tomorrow. But in the meantime, they also know that they are buying cars. I'm affording to buy with people not get out from under the process. That you can find out by emailing Joe at McDonaldFord.com. Joe at McDonaldFord.com. He will then tell you the procedure, photos he needs, information. And you will receive an offer. And then and now, and that includes all the and any movies that has to be done. It's all included, and no extra fee written or anything like that. They go through a place that's the dollar. So get hold of Joe at McDonaldFord.com. Joe at McDonaldFord.com. McDonald Ford, 6790 on the road. Break it. We'll be back with more after these.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age.
ZipRecruiter helps you find all the right people, even though it's a difficult job. ZipRecruiter helps you keep your business. Take it from Martha and millions of other businesses who use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack. See why 4 out of 5 employees who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Cracking a barbecue is a breeze. Even managing my frequent heartburn, that was a lot more work. I achieved a 10 acid in one day. Now I take just 1 hour of OTC, and my husband is lost for a full 24 hours. Just 1 hour of OTC is one and done after a meal. So I can go back to sleeping on my holidays.
Concept OTC. 1 pill a day, 24 hours, 0 harm.
Did you know you can get your prescriptions for months at your local pharmacy? You can anywhere else. It's the free app that can save you money on your medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacy to get the coupon back. GoodRx works with over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not. It's easy to save. Next time you drop off your prescription, check GoodRx. To start saving today, go to GoodRx.com. GoodRx is non-insurance.
From the Indian Kitchen and Backyard Showroom and Design Center Studios, You are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSPW.
And we're back with you here at the 2022 Saginaw County Fair. We're talking to Dan Streeter, the Executive Director of the Rescue Ministries of Great Mission. Dan, we've talked for years, there's been discussion of special housing for veterans. Where are we with that? How bad is the need for veterans?
So we've, historically, I started 31 years ago, and in the 70s and 80s, veterans homelessness was a critical issue. There would be 25 to 30% of the male population staying in the shelter were veterans. It's been amazing to see what our country has done to help stabilize things and provide services for veterans over the last 20 years. Has just been a tremendous focus on that. And so veterans homelessness is not as critical as what it used to be. There used to be, so many between medical and mental health issues, as well as just, veterans being able to connect to services. That has totally changed. And so now the veteran population in our homeless shelters is really minimal. It's more like probably about 3% compared to what it used to be. So kudos to not only our local Veterans Association, but what's happening all across the country. Very meaningful, very engaging case management that happens and services available. And it's one of the examples of that joint case management that we do when a veteran comes through, making sure that there's that specialized care right off the bat and making sure they're getting connected to everything that's available to them. But we do it jointly. They're case managers along with our case managers, and just great sustainable services.
The other thing that we hear about that probably 30 years ago or more, we didn't hear about, were families coming in, as opposed to just an individual off the street, so to speak. All of a sudden, a mom and a couple of kids show up. That's been a trend, hasn't it? Not a good one, but it's been a trend.
Well, it continues to be a trend all the way across the country. And, early in the 80s is when we started and we opened up for the family ministry, and where we bought the location where we're at 1021 Burt Street. And it was mainly because to open up ministry for families in a women's shelter on the fourth floor of the facility. We continue to see a critical need, and it still goes to the fact, a couple reasons. One, I don't think that there's the same bond with families as what there had to been, extended families. And so, what used to happen in the 50s, 60s, and 70s is that family units would stay more bonded together. And then now what we're seeing is the fracture of family units. People aren't staying as close together. It's becoming more just their own family unit. And so now when they run into difficulties, they have nobody to be able to help lean upon, like what we would think about with the traditional family unit. So we'll see a mom with a couple kids, or a mom and dad that come and stay with us. And that has been so much of a pressing need that we have renovated some of the space that's happening right now at City Rescue Mission to create 4 more family units. So kind of a hotel styles kind of sized, with the bathroom self-contained in there. That's one of the things through the pandemic we learned, that we needed a little bit more social distancing space for families to be able to be self-contained. And so we've got 4 new units that will be coming in at the end of September and ready for this busy fall time. And that's part of where trying to always making sure that we're being reactive to where the need is within the community. But that's also, as we were talking about. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's all right. Go ahead.
Oh, so that's also where we were talking about the impact designs and really tailoring that towards the family units. We've seen so far this year 27 moves that we've done for families, and we continue to see greater input. Part of the sustainability is helping to get people connected to the resources, but then also helping home happen. But then we do follow-up case management with them. So for the next 12 months, they sign on for us to come back and to visit with them while they're there in their new accommodations, and trying to then make sure that it stays sustained. how's your budget going? How's your connection to things? What else are you needing? So that way we can avert a crisis before it happens.
All right, hold on to those thoughts. We're going to take a break, come back. We're talking to Dan Sweer from Rescue Ministries of Michigan. And don't forget, we're kicking off today a summer match program for 2 weeks. And we'll tell you how to donate to Turn here on WSPW as we broadcast from the 2023 Saginaw County Fair. More ahead after these notes.
Ah, summer. Warm, sunny day.
Welcome back.
Thanks. Another year.
I don't know if you were around and remember the days of the tents outside the dairy barn in the old fairground.
Well, we used to set up a van right outside the office too, and right outside the building. Oh yeah, I came in '74, so I've been doing it ever since.
I was about, yay, hi. When I start remembering, because I remember the radio tent over there. Go see it.
Yep.
Welcome to come on back out to the fair. Nice to see you out here again.
Thank you.
All the way around. 74, I was probably not at the fair those years. I was off to college.
Gentlemen,
Always out. Yeah.
They're doing a fight contest game today, or, okay. And then one year I was out here, the sheriff got to sample me. He ain't doing it this year.
I can't count on him. He's
You know
never
what
here.
They said, I just talked to the undersheriff, he said, so getting a boat, we bought a boat around the other side of the state. And it's coming.
Build it?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Don't ask me how big it was, but it's pretty good size. It's coming around Port Austin around the thumb.
Yeah.
So it's gotta be over here, by the
Yes.
All right, this is my brother Dan.
Hi, Dan. Martin Woods.
How you doing, buddy? Compared to the VFW and Bertrand.
Thank you for your service.
Did you ever in your lifetime work, where Tommy Vaughn worked at that time at KNX?
Oh.
KNX, huh? You remember that?
I came to SGW in '74.
74, yeah.
KNX was on State Street, but I never worked.
Okay. I think, well, when we was kids, it was right downtown. Remember that?
Yeah, SGW was right down in the Mason building.
Which one?
SGW was in the Mason building downtown, right?
Right downtown?
Genesee and Washington.
Okay, back in the 50s?
Kitty corner from the bank building.
There was six of us sitting out in the car, and Tommy Vaughn had his own radio station.
I didn't know him.
12 to 1. And my mother and dad went in there and they had the radio on. And we was all sitting in the car. Back then, you could leave your kids in the car. Hell, nobody going to steal it, But, yeah, he said hi to every one of them. I still remember that today.
Good.
Back in the minute of sun, and Dad and I walked in there and he stopped and greeted them when they came in. He said, are the kids out in the car? And we said, yes. He said, hi, Dean Dan Dewey, the one that's having his birthday. He rattled us all
Oh,
off.
you remembered it, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Tommy Vaughn, wonder about it.
All right, gotta go back to work.
All right,
See you guys.
Along with free golf at Crystal Mountain coming up on Michigan Golf Live Saturday from 1 to 3 on 100.5 and 7 on News Radio WSCW.
And we're back to the Saginaw County Fair. I'm Martin Lewis in studio. Dan Sweer, the executive director of the Rescue Ministries of Michigan. Dan, walk us through the procedure when someone shows up or a family shows up at the mission, Saginaw or Bay City. What happens?
So the first day that they come in, we want to make sure that they know that this community cares for them. So how they're greeted and by the accommodations. And so the very first thing is going to be probably about a 20-minute interview to try to understand what's caused some of their homelessness, to get some of the background information about them and what has been happening. So that way we just get that initial snapshot. but we're also taking records. So then that way we can, we participate in what's called the HMIS system, Homeless Management Information System. So it helps us to be able to see as we track electronically through the database what has worked, what isn't working, what some of the demographics are, length of stays, things like that. But when the person comes through, then we're sitting down with them and saying, okay, here's what's available for you. And we help them with a hygiene kit, and we let them know here's the meal times, and then here's the space that you'll be staying in. So if it's a single guy, we've got a dorm of about 20 that they could stay in that dorm. Or there's another space depending on what their situation is. Maybe they're working and they have a third shift job, then we're going to put them in a specialized dorm so that way they can get sleep through the day and not get distracted. So we're trying to deal with those different situations depending on what the makeup is. If it's a family, then we're going to put a family together in a room just by themselves. And so then that way they still have a little bit of privacy, even though you're maybe seeing, 60 or 70 people that are there on that same floor, they at least have their own individual room. And so then we're walking through with them about here's when life skill classes are. We'd like for you to come and engage and be involved with that. It's not mandated they do so. They'll do so, then we give them incentives, things like the furniture opportunity and to be able to get those types of connections to resources. So the hygiene, the access to clothing, the meals, those are the things that all start happening. And then within 48 hours, then they're sitting down with a case manager in greater detail, start to figuring out what's going to be your budget and what are some of your vocational goals, and trying to then put those pieces together and where have you gotten assistance and where have things fallen through. So within a few days, we're trying to get a good snapshot and trying to put a course onto where things can go and then to give them hope. So that way things don't have to continue to be the same way. And then it's about working the plan after that.
Just out of curiosity, in the prison setting, they call it recidivism. What's the rate of repeat?
So recidivism in the shelter setting through the state, when we take a look at some of those numbers, that it's within 2 years. Has anybody come back within the last 2 years is kind of how they measure it. So we just saw some of our recent recidivism numbers where across the state, it's somewhere around 20% will come back and need a second shelter stay within a 2-year period. Within Saginaw, we just saw those numbers over the last quarter be at 3%, and in Bay City, it was at 5%. So we definitely are above the state average, but a big part of it is because of the life skills, the parenting classes, and the impact designs, the furniture move-in, long-term meaningful solutions.
That's really what it's all about.
It really is, and it's about engagement. And as we talk about engagement, we're also asking about potentially people to think about making a gift. But one of the biggest things that happened during the pandemic is it changed everybody's patterns. And where we used to have huge turnouts for volunteerism, we've been seeing that we need to start to encourage people to come back and to get engaged. We're about half the volunteer force of what we used to be.
Never thought about it.
Yeah, so we would love to see people come to our website, take a look at the volunteer opportunities, come help make a meal, come maybe help teach a life skill class, or even better, maybe a group of you from your job or your church come and get involved with an impact designs move. You can help do the designing, you can help do the move-in, you can help a family in just an amazing way. And so many ways of volunteerism, we'd love to see people come and get involved.
All right, so in conclusion, let's remind everybody that you have the summer match going on. You have about $72,000 to match. How can people donate?
We'd love for you to call this morning, 989-755-HOPE, 4673. You can make a call and make a donation right now, or you can go online to r3monline.org and make an electronic donation with your credit card. Or you can just write a check and put in their summer match and put it in the mailbox to us. And we would love for you to help us be able to sustain operations through these summer months. Once again, 233 people needed a place to stay, and you can help make an immediate opportunity to sustain that care for them.
I'll remind people of it over the next 2 weeks. Dan, thanks for being with us this morning.
Thanks so much. Enjoy
Dan's-
the time out at the fair.
Yeah, I will. I enjoy the food. Dan Streeter, the Executive Director of Rescue Ministries in Michigan. We thank you for being with us on the program this morning. We are at the 2023 Saginaw County Fair. Today, the first day of the fair is Military and Senior Day, Veterans and Active Military, free admission with military ID all day. Seniors age 60 and over, 10 o'clock till 1 o'clock. $10 till 1 o'clock. They had the opening ceremonies this morning, the Homemaker of the Year competition going on here. And at 10 o'clock, we expect fruit pies. In the next couple of minutes, folks will start arriving with their fruit pies. We have 14 people competing in the Michigan Fruit Pie Competition, sponsored by Michigan Sugar and WSW. I'll tell you more about that as we move along throughout the hours this morning. But lots going on today here at the Saginaw County Fair. The first day runs through Saturday. Come on out and enjoy it. The grandstand shows, the rides, the attractions, everything included in one price. Saginaw County Fair here at the fairgrounds on Pete Road in Chesapeake. We'll take a break and come back and close out the hour.
Tired of driving all over town just to find your favorite product, beer, wine, or liquor, and looking further than Ideal Party Store in the city. Ideal Party Store is in Michigan.
What's up? Still at it, huh?
I can say the same.
Yep.
So are you going to be at the Rescue Mission Banquet?
When is it?
I think it's in September. Maybe September.
Probably, but I don't know the date. I'll have to find out from Dan, actually. I'll probably be there. Usually, if I can make it, I do. I had a lot going on this year. I had to fly to Kansas City for 1 day in September. Fly down on the 9th, fly home on the 10th.
We're going to have time for barbecue.
No, I'm gonna have, well, my cousin has it. He's having an open house. First time that the 3 remaining cousins will all be together. So we're gonna do that. I'm going out to the SEMA show in Las Vegas, the auto show in November. I'm taking the train. I took extra vacation days, so I'm taking Amtrak out to Los Angeles and then busing over to Vegas. And then this 100th anniversary of the 4D Club. I got to see. And there's a few other things in there too. That's fun. I love it.
Keeps you going.
Thank you. Yeah, at least she didn't suffer. So that was the good news. All right. It's going to wrap up the first hour of the Art Lewis Show from the Saginaw County Fair. We'll be back. And we're going to have a special guest for the first part of the hour coming up. And his name is James Shirk. He used to be the Trump administration. I'll tell you about it. WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, 10 o'clock.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A New York man charged with murdering 3 women and suspected in the death of a 4th is scheduled to make a court appearance on Long Island today. Suffolk County District Attorney Ray Tierney tells CBS's 48 Hours. This is an individual's very much living life, a life that he presents to the public and a life that he keeps hidden from the public. Victims' bodies were found on Gilbert Beach more than a decade ago. Rex Sewerman was arrested last month. Smoke from an intense wildfire chewing through California's Mojave Desert is now affecting air quality in Las Vegas. There's heavy rain in the forecast, but the Weather Channel meteorologist Jim Contori says everyone surely is seeing Irish storms to the latest research of the impacts by wind fires who now 90,000 acres are not even the worst of fire season yet, especially for Southern California. The U.S. government is pressuring Chinese companies to improve their human rights record, adding 2 more to its growing list that employ forced labor to supply goods to the U.S. CBS's independent report. Some of the companies like Skylanders, the outlet uses plant-based extracts to produce things like dyes and food additives. Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas says this enforcement shows that the Biden administration is holding organizations accountable for what he calls their egregious human rights abuses and forced labor practices. There's another juiced-up jackpot up for grabs here in the U.S. more than 6 months after the Mega Millions at $1.35 billion. The top's $1 billion again for tonight's drawing. Virginia Whitsitt, Riverside, Missouri's lottery clerk, says a lot of people are letting the machines do the choosing. People feel more comfortable with picks. They don't do well with picking their own numbers. A troubling trend for women. Here's CBS's Jim Kusura. Nearly 6 million American women live in counties or parishes with limited or no access to maternal care. That's according to a new report from the March of Dogs, a nonprofit organization focused on improving the health of pregnant women and babies. It found that hospitals in nearly 10% of counties across the country have lost obstetric services over the past 5 years. Euphoria fans are mourning the loss of actor Angus Cloud. CBS's Matt Pepper. In a statement, his family says last week he buried his father and intensely struggled with this loss. The only comfort we have is knowing Angus is now reunited with his dad, who was his best friend. Angus played a lovable drug dealer in Festo on the HBO show. He was 25. His family has not announced his cause of death. Gallup 103. This is CBS News. Hire with minimal effort and max speed with Indeed. Their hiring solution platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates efficiently. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Have you considered yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Even an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your email? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the website so that it rises to the top, helping you for your best search. Open is too valuable to
And what we're going to do is we're just going to give contestants those 6 plates and let them put their pieces on the card. We're not going to let them. Plus they got the utensils and everything. So what I did was I just took each one of your forms and then all the recipes are underneath. And then I just
I've learned it's in the past for if you've been diagnosed with AMD and noticed vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com. From the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
$81.7 billion. We are a strong state with unique natural strength driven by a spirit of growth and innovation. We are going to be the ones to define the future of advanced manufacturing while continuing to diversify our economy and deliver great quality of life at a good cost of living. Michigan has a bright future, and we are taking steps every day to ensure that we realize it. Together, we will help everyone and anyone make it in Michigan. And with that, let's sign the bill and get this budget a reality. The record bill includes $19 billion for school aid funding, $15 billion for the general fund. The rainy fund is now approaching a record $2 billion. John Hewitt, Michigan News Network.
For all reasons, Illinois County's man was killed after his vehicle was rear-ended by a semi. He was a 16-year-old who was driving more than 165.
Hi, this is Jessica. It's time to check out your financial credit union and experience the credit union difference. From youth accounts to retirement accounts, we can help you with all of your financial needs. United Financial Credit Union, we've been committed to our communities since 1964 and strive to provide long-term financial stability to our members and their families. Whether you need a loan or looking for a safe place for your savings, we will always be treated as our top priority. Not a member? Why not? It's never been easier to open an account. It's time for you to check out your local friendly credit union and see how we can you first.
Injured in car.
That's for the contestants. It's their bags for their contestants.
Just curious what's
Yeah, Terry's over at the homemaker competition, judging the homemakers.
well, good to see you. Have a good day.
Thanks, you too.
It's another chance for some pop-up classes on Wednesday afternoon. A slightly better chance of rain on Thursday. Proof of being improved. Certainly not getting rain all day on Thursday. We could have some showers in the morning and in the afternoon. Also, 56. This is what I think of meteorological. That's non-road. Temperature of 62 degrees at WSP Weather. The only radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions. From around the world to around the world, the Outdoor Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online at WSGW.com. The Outdoor Show is presented by this Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed. Westside Decorating Center, our sponsor at 5789 State Street in Saginaw. And you'll find their newly expanded showroom with expanded product lines, all kinds of things for home decorating. Everything you need for home decorating at Westside Decorating Center. We are at Saginaw County Fair, the 2023 edition here at the fairgrounds on Peak Road in Chesaning. Lots going on. We'll tell you about it throughout the hour. We're going to start the hour, though, talking to a gentleman who was a former labor advisor to President Trump. We're going to talk about electric vehicles this morning, and he is James Shirk. James, good morning to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Thanks for being with us. I think unless people live in a shell and never come out, we all know there is a huge push for electric vehicles in this country, not only coming from the manufacturers themselves, but from government too. Where is it leading and what's your feeling about it?
Primarily driven by the government. For us, in America, it's about the electric vehicles. But the fact is, the large majority of Americans are supporting the gas powered car. And that's the part of the reason why the vehicle costs $100,000 more than comparable gas powered cars, particularly newer and better countries. That's range, and it's pretty Americans like electric vehicles, but not really enough to look at the number of opportunities to do it. Which is why the Biden is not the first rule to require the automakers to defend over the U.S. to try to completely develop that vehicle electric by 2032. That's not what you're supposed to do. They want to force people to go from 6% electric cars to 67%.
And I wonder if it's attainable.
I would probably not. In terms of the amount of lithium and I mean, the environmental damage is completely minor. That's what's going on in countries like China. And that's the case for that very last I mean, that's the case. Similar case to the country. I think that's the case in terms of the disaster. And it's also a good disaster for others. Because if all the electric vehicles are so expensive, that's the good news. They're actually intended to people that vehicles who don't have a single use car. And so once you got to the people that are similar to you, they just probably a lot fewer to simple. And our estimate are that if the Biden administration has to secure a people electric vehicle sales by 2032, then that's going to lead to $120,000 on manufacturing.
It seems to me, and this is just my analogy, that the electric vehicle world is about where the gasoline-powered car world was at the turn of the 1900s. The automobile comes along, begins to replace the horse carriage, but we don't have gas stations, we don't have roads. All the infrastructure has to be built, and it took time to do that. I kind of think the electric vehicle is at that stage of its life where we're seeing these vehicles being produced, but we really don't have the total infrastructure yet to support them. But it's coming. What do you think?
I mean, definitely. I mean,
But despite that, and despite huge losses in the electric car field, like Ford announced they're going to lose $4 billion on electric cars, manufacturers seem to be willing to push them, seem to be willing to change their manufacturing structures to build more and more electric cars. Well, but by the same token, though, the gas-powered manufacturers of today, they can't meet the standards by 2032, and none of them meet the standards. The government's not going to put them all out of business. They can't. How many court challenges will that generate? Yeah. How many court challenges? At the same time, we're trying to attract battery manufacturers and other manufacturers of electric supplies. So let's look at the crystal ball. What do you see over the next, let's say, 5 years for electric cars?
think pretty much all of these topics we're listening to, and so it's not that I think that we figure out all the stories out of it. And so what those is, we'll figure out this, I think that's
Well, it's going to be interesting to watch, that's for sure. Well, listen, James, I appreciate your time this morning, and we'll have to do it again down the road and see how we're faring with some regulations. Have a good day. James Shirk, we thank you for joining us, talking about electric vehicles. We'll have more to say on that in the future, of course, as we have done many times in the past. We are here at the 2023 Saginaw County Fair. Today is the first day of the fair. By the way, we'll have open lines for the remainder of the hour. 989-752-6111 would be the number to call. We'd love to chat with you and see what's on your mind today. As we sit here at the Saginaw County Fair, the 2023 edition down here in Chesaning. It's Veterans and Active Military Day, free admission with military ID all day. Seniors age 60 and older, $10 until 1 o'clock. We had the opening ceremony this morning. We're going to have a Michigan fruit pie competition coming up here in just a little bit in the new pavilion where I'm sitting this morning. And going on this hour, there's a horse show with English pleasure riding. There are some all-day Marine Corps League demonstrations in the Youth Home Arts area, sponsored by the Marine Corps League John C. Rock Detachment. At 11 o'clock this morning, Rabbit and Poultry Costume Class and Parade. There are all kinds of entertainments and all kinds of educational opportunities going on. All the buildings are open up. Where we're sitting is the KC Bingo area, and that starts at 2 o'clock today. And then at 7 o'clock tonight in the dog barn, there'll be dog agility. But in the grandstand, tractor pulls tonight. And that is sponsored by the Mid-Michigan Old Gas Tractor Association. And the 10 o'clock fireworks provided by Big Rock Amusements. Big Rock Amusements, of course, providing the games, fireworks, rides, and food here at the 2023 Saginaw County Fair. Come on out. Gates are open today and tomorrow. It's $15 to get in unless you're in one of the special categories. Thursday through Saturday, $20. But understand that includes all the grandstand shows. That includes all the rides. And if you're a senior, 60 and older, it's only $10 until 1 o'clock. And the daily admission includes free parking, grandstand events, unlimited rides along the midway. The only requirement there is you must be 36 inches or taller. Children under 36 receive free entry, but they can't do the rides. And there is a nightly fireworks show. All happening here at the Saginaw County Fair on Pete Road in Chesaning. Come on out and enjoy. We're going to take a break, and then we'll be back here on WSGW. Hi, what's your name? What's your name? Thank you. For now, until they come back, there'll be some folks coming back in a little while, and I'll get everybody set up. That could be your spot.
Thank you.
That's Dock.com. DAVVL.com. Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at Rocket Plus? Check out all of our deals going on right now. They are offers, music mixology DJ service, break and move area bar, unique floral and gifts in Bay City, J.P.'s Market in London, the Bearded Axe, the Pizza Booth in County, and so many more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at Rocky Flat Plus.
You're using super format? A mother butter is the only way to deep clean your clothes. And I'd be like, Mom, this is the new Swiffer Power, the all-in-one that gives you a mother butter clean and water coverage. I say, look, it will get every move and more and top. And you take all of it. And that means, well, that's all you're expecting.
Stocks have been narrowed in mix. There's no longer mostly upbeat earnings news. Uber Technologies surprised Wall Street by making its first profit ever in recent value at the stock every day. Its earnings not forecast by that margin. Some construction and mining equipment also owns the law of determining where in both the spread of shares open down 3%.
Do something you've never heard before. Introducing 24/7 lifetime protection only from Citizen Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced Home Security, 20% less than $1 a day. There's no second at Simply Safe. In a matter of seconds, she pulled herself into a clean water. She was standing as a regular person one, or as a superhero creature. Everyone knows her every and still having nothing. Do something you've never heard before. Introducing 24/7 lifetime protection only from Citizen Home Security. Now, monitoring agents can see and speak to intruders through our new indoor camera to help stop crime in real time and for fast police response. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. Advanced Home Security, 24/7 protection monitoring for less than $1 a day. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Hi, we're back with you here at WSGW from the 2023 Saginaw County Fair. I'm Art Lewis, and we have open phones for you for the remainder of the hour. Russ is in Bay City, so that's where we're going to begin this morning. Russ, good morning. Whoa. Why do you say that?
China and India?
Well, China and India. Yeah, but China and India have been doing that anyway. I mean, You know, we live in the United States. Well, you know why you don't see it. They don't see it because they think that removing fuel, gas-powered cars, is a plus for the environment. They don't want to look at the other side of it, which is negative. Well, okay.
Hey, Ann.
You're welcome to look at it. You're welcome. You're welcome to look at it. Oh, so you're making it politics. Now you're making it politics. Here you are. You just said Republican event. I understand that, yeah, but you're not partisan, right? Well, you're not partisan? Are you not partisan? You're not going to answer that question? Okay, that's good. All right. No, absolutely. Good enough. All right, Russ. Have a good one. Bye-bye now. And before the break, let's talk to Carl in Saginaw. Good morning, Carl. Carl, good morning. We're only talking, no, Carl, we're talking about the United States. We live in the United States. We know what other countries are doing, but other countries can't force us to do something. Our government can. Well, is it? Is it a good idea? I don't know. Why would Ford? Let me ask you this. Why would? All right, Carl. Why would Ford lose $1 billion a year in electric vehicles? They're not in business to lose money. All right, well, time will tell. I'm not against electric cars. I'm against them being shoved down my throat, but I'm not against electric cars. Not to the degree. All right, we're going to disagree on that one. All right, well, there we go. So we agree on that. All right, good enough. Got to go. Take care. Bye-bye now. Quick break. We'll come back. We'll get to Gene in Bay City when we return.
One of the most trusted names in online reputation marketing. The organization developed excellent search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to evaluate unrelated information in search results. They also promote websites so that it rises to the top. Helping you predict best at your is still valuable to lead to the wins of a Google algorithm. Take control with reputation defense.
Hey, Rob, 11:10. And we be focused together.
Okay. You want the queen? You want the sugar queen?
We do both. I'll start with you. All right, back with you on the Art Lewis Show here from the Saginaw County Fair. Coming up on Focus after the 11 o'clock news, Rob Clark's going to join us, and the Michigan Queen, too. Meantime, back to our phones. Gene is in Bay City. Gene, good morning.
Let me give you a thought. Let's see what you think about this. Evil has been part of the world for years. And rarely is there a perfect human being. God,
believe in God, that He created us, gave us the ability to make mistakes and be evil and be good. So we're all godly creatures, if you will. And I guess in my world, I leave the final judgment up there. Here's my feeling. Primary, if you're going to vote on the Republican side of the primary, it will offer you opportunities to vote for someone else. If after the primaries are all said and done, and you are faced with, for example, President Biden versus former President Trump, then you have a decision to make. And that's what politics in this great country is all about. Well, the right decision. Well, if we look at these two, let's say that it's Bush and Biden, right? Let's say it's Trump and Biden, right? And if we believe that God creates us and God gives them the ability to do what they do, neither of them are perfect. Neither of them are saints. So you have a choice to make. And unfortunately, it might be the choice. The old saying, the lesser of two evils. Think of how accurate that may be. Yeah. All right. Well, there you go. You can vote for him in the primary as well. He makes it on the ballot. So I got to run. I got to take a break. Thanks for calling. No problem. Thank you. Before I do the break, let's see if we can get Scott in here real quick. Scott, good morning.
The Bible is very clear. God is not free for abortion. He is not free for homosexuality. He is not free for fornication or rape. He is not free for stealing and lying. That is correct. Well, what you gotta do, right? Who's got a perfect plan? He was your body. He supports abortion. He supports gay marriage. He supports the choosing of sex of children. When God himself knew that God made them male and female. He was not confused. You're going to now, again, you want to pick. You pick scripture. You're not picking a pastor, Jim. You're picking a president of the United States. And if you read the Bible, God is not the president. No, he was king. Because she was supposed to be the king.
All right, but understand, Scott, she's on your side here. She just is. Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, that's good.
A lot of people get because of Donald Trump. They would. Look at the lesser of two evils.
Yeah.
Donald Trump's plan for having children be born.
We understand. You said that. Yeah, we got that. Well, you did. You made it clear 3 times now. I understand that. Repeating it doesn't make it right or wrong.
Repeating things are good as teaching school and teaching home, and you repeat it and keep it in the people's hearing. You put it one time.
Yeah, which is what the other side does too, don't they? Ah. Real quick.
It's kind of funny that every little bit the Democrats and the media is saying that everybody that came over Trump was I'm not somebody that knew somebody that could, but somebody else is doing it, Donald Trump. And
All right. All right. Good enough. Thanks. Have a good one. Take care. Bye-bye now. All right, we're going to take a break, come back. When we come back, Joanne and Thomas Township will do all of that ahead here on WSW.
Singles has big savings on everything you need for back to school or stocking up the office. Save on sounds, banners, and posters. Singles 21.66. Save on everything you need for travel, like luggage, top, and 26% off. Plus, save on all your school essentials from Mondays to Mondays. Now at Singles, you can save even more. $25 factory rewards on advanced purchase of $75 or more. Everything for the office and the classroom for less at Staples. NZ5 redeemable in-store and rewards members only.
Terry, does each pie maker bring 2 pies?
Yes.
Okay, so what you need to do is take one of those pies in its entirety and show the judges,
Right.
Here's number 1, here's number 2. Right. Then they can be cutting up the second pie while you're doing that.
That's what you're going to be doing.
What I'm going to be doing.
Yeah. Because I'll be on the air.
All right, we're back with you at Saginaw County Fair. We lost Joanne, but we have Marcellus in Saginaw. Marcellus, good morning. We're doing good. Well, you know, unfortunately, the rhetoric is going to get hit over the head. Well, it does. It comes from it. Of course it does. I mean, that's what politics has become. And in this day and age, What's changed in the political arena is the way we communicate. With social media now and all the other electronics out there, I mean, you can't get away from it. Whoa! What's wrong with Well, I think I understand that. I expanded a little bit. I think it's not just what you're doing for me because it's what you're doing for all of us. But certainly we judge things based on our condition, where we're going to be with these decisions. I understand that. All right. Yeah, go ahead, real quick. All right, that's good. I can accept that. Yeah. Well, let's end. Let's end with this. Let's end with this thing. There's a pastor that country's also falling down because we're moving away from that. All right, gotta go. All right, Marcellus, we'll talk to you again. Thanks. I gotta go, Marcellus. I got a couple of calls I gotta get in here. John in Saginaw. John, good morning. Who says that? Yeah, so. Sure you can. That's not true because I've seen many of them that are along parallel park, for example. You plug in and you can pull away. Besides, what's the difference? Does it really matter? Let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. When you pull into a convenience store, you have to back out. Does that stop you from going to a convenience store? What's the difference? What's the difference if you pull up to a plug and plug in and then have to back out? What is the difference? Yeah, but what's it got to do with your conversation about backing out? Pickups back up, so do cars. Come on. Okay, good. I doubt very much that's going to stop anybody, but that's, you can, I don't, okay. All right. Okay, we'll have to consider it. All right. Good enough. Okay. All right. Good enough. All right. Good enough, John. I got to go. I got to get one more caller on here. You said your piece on it. I appreciate it. Tim and Hemlock, got about a minute. Go ahead, real quick. All right. I'm going to have to interrupt for time here, but I'm going to ask you one quick question. If it's proven that Biden sold influence for the country, would that be worse than what Trump did? I just asked the question. That's all. Okay, I understand. Well, you're finished because of time, because I'm out of it. But we'll do it again. Call earlier, Tim, and you'll have more time. I got to go for now. We are at the Saginaw County Fair, and it is the 2023 edition of the Saginaw County Fair. Come on out and enjoy the fair. We'll tell you more about it. Take our last break and be back.
Lions are made for better things than rheumatoid arthritis or RA. Zoltan's topicetamine is a pill for moderate to severe RA. The two of the closest factor blockers do not work well and cannot be tolerated. Zoltan's can help relieve joint pain, swelling, and help stop further joint damage. Zoltan's can lower your ability to fight infections. Don't start at the home wall. Before and during treatment, your doctor should check for infections like TB and blood types. Serious, sometimes fatal infections, cancers, including lymphoma and lung, blood clots, serious heart-related events, tears in the stomach or intestines, and allergic reactions can happen. People 50 and older with heart disease risk factors have an increased risk of death. Tell your doctor if you've had hepatitis B or C, have flu-like symptoms, inflammatory infections, or have ever had a heart attack, stroke, crack, or other heart problems, or scarring.
Where'd Rob get to? Where'd Clark go? I need him at 11:10. All right. And we will be back after the news on WSGW.
In Washington, D.C. and Georgia today, Frank Kelly's 2020 election cases caused for former President Trump. CNN's Nicole
These two cases, even though they are different, but really it's a matter
Court appearance after today in New York for the man charged with Gilgo Beach murders that date back more than a decade. FBI profiler Mariana Rachel says the investigation's been intense.
You know that once somebody becomes a serial killer, that takes practice. And practice means there had to be other murders that occurred where they learned, basically they learned their code, they learned how to become serial killers.
Hottest July ever in Phoenix, but yesterday ended a record 31-day streak of daily highs above 110 is 108. Weather Channel's Jim Cantroy says high heat's going to be a factor for a while in the southern half of the week. The heat he accuses of improperly profiting from the cells. He also claimed criminal scientific and billions of tissue taken without the black woman's consent over cervical cancer tumor. 18 cells in a successful plan. Much dimes as much 1 in 30 women live in the U.S. in what are known as the teenage care deserts. CEO wants U.S. women's soccer team settled for a scoreless draw with Portugal. It was enough to advance at the World Cup. U.S. star Alex Morgan.
Yes, some big chances. That's what all the
Last week, 2013. This is CBS News. If you need to hire, you need Indeed. Their end-to-end hiring system helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/hiring.
Supported by thousands of communities across the United States, the National Night Out aims to build strong and positive relationships between police and members of the people they serve. Basic public safety will be celebrating with an event in Winona Park from 5 to 8 p.m. Police in Saginaw Township will have the event at the Saginaw County Fair from 6 to 9, and Midland Police Department will host a gathering at Emerson Park 2, 4, and 8. All of the events will feature police, fire, and other emergency workers, along with tools and vehicles deliveries on a daily basis, as well as food, games, and prizes. More information about local National Night Out events can be found at each department's Facebook page. Jonathan Dance, News Radio 100.5 and 790.
Art's getting nervous. No, I said Art's getting nervous.
We have 13 here. Yeah. We have 13 here, Arthur.
One to go. Who's missing? What are you going to start joking? He doesn't show, it doesn't show.
Thank you. There you are.
I made it.
Oh, you're good.
Yes, indeed. Focus brought to you by Roof Max. You can find out more information about the safe, affordable, and easy alternative to asphalt shingle roof replacement by going online to getroofmax.com or call Ben at 989-859-6751. Roof Max. We are at the Saginaw County Fair, the 2023 edition getting underway today. Began at 9 o'clock this morning. Runs through Saturday. Lots of activities here at the Saginaw County Fair. One of those activities, it's an annual event here, and it is a baking competition put on by the folks at Michigan Sugar and WSW. This year it's a Michigan fruit pie competition. And I mentioned Michigan Sugar, and lo and behold, who should be sitting next to me but the communications director of Michigan Sugar? And he is Good morning.
Good morning.
Another year, would you believe?
No, it just keeps
I
going.
mean, would you believe it's August 1st already?
I know. Time just keeps ticking, but boy, we're in a beautiful new facility out here this year.
Well, they took the tent down and they put up a pavilion.
Yeah, it's
Kind of
really
neat.
great.
Concrete floor and everything. And it's really very, very nice, comfortable. The biggest thing is you have power.
Yeah,
I
this
didn't
is
have to run.
phenomenal.
I didn't have to run a quarter mile and a half to get power. Well, how's Michigan Sugar doing this year? We had a dry spell in June, but then the rains came, and how are the crops looking?
Yeah, I mean, things look really good. I was just talking to someone over at the fairgrounds, and they said, we used to grow sugar beets, and I said, well, we're getting about that time where we're going to start pulling them out of the fields here. So,
Another month?
Yeah, it should be probably early September this year, right after Labor Day. We'll get in the fields, start harvesting. Our tentative start date for our factories is September 8th. So, listen, we got a dry spell early on. We prayed for rain.
Got it.
We got the rain.
Prayed for it to stop.
Prayed for it to stop, but it's been good. We still need some rain in August, but we really need some heat units and dry weather now. But we will still need those rains to finish this crop. We started taking our samples last week.
Really?
Yeah. Kind of our first full sample was taken last week. Looked pretty good. It was ahead of our 5-year average.
So year for sugar.
Yeah, a lot can change in a week. A lot can change in a month, certainly. But right now we're projecting about a 30.5 ton crop, which would be great. So yeah, it's always some other nature.
How's the company doing? I had the new CEO on. This is the first time in the history of the company that Flegenheimer is top.
Yeah. So Mark Flegenheimer retired, and Neil Junkie is our new president and CEO. He's been on the job now about 4 months and doing great. Really integrating well into the community. Home and Freedom with his wife Heidi. Has really come in and been able to identify some places where we can go from good to great, and some places where we can raise the bar and become a stronger cooperative going forward. So,
Got a lot of history in agriculture.
he does. Yeah.
And sugar.
Yeah. He had 15 years in the sugar industry and 30 in the agriculture industry. So it's been a great transition, and we're really excited about the future.
And I know the Queen and her court are here.
Yeah, we've got 2023 Michigan Sugar Queen is Cassie Acker, and then our Queen Court attendants, Kylie Speakerman and Maria Avezza. So they're going to help judge the pie contest today. It was great. The weather was perfect. We got a great Queen Court crown for this coming year. And turnout was amazing. Every year at the Sugar Festival in Seaboard, we have some of our board members spin cotton candy.
I've done that.
And the line to get cotton candy this year, I mean, people were waiting 20 minutes to get a cotton candy.
Mr. Hetty and I have been spinners of cotton candy in the past.
Oh, yes, you have. Yeah, it was great.
It is fun to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
So we have the Michigan Fruit Pie competition here. We have 14 competitors. They have all apparently shown up, which is good.
Yeah, I mean, this is not going to be easy today. You think
Well, I'm not
14
judging.
pies is...
I'm not judging. I'm just tabulating. It's all right with me.
Yeah, we're excited about it, though. I mean, it's great. All the pies, of course, have to be made with Pioneer sugar. And, all the contestants so far. So, oh yeah, there's plenty of pioneers here. Should be good.
All right, we'll be back to talk more with Rob and maybe introduce you to the Sugar Queen here in a moment. But tell you we are at the 2023 Saginaw County Fair. Today is Veterans and Active Military Day with free admission with military ID all day. Seniors 60 and over till the $10 to get in until 1 o'clock. And lots of activities. And remember, the admission here at the fairgrounds is a little different than others because your admission includes free parking. It includes all the grandstand events. It includes unlimited rides along the Midway, all for one admission. Now, in order to ride the rides, children must be 36 inches tall to ride. Children under 36 get free entry, but they cannot take the rides. But it's all happening here at the fairgrounds on Peak Road in Chesaning. And by the way, you can get a mega pass available for all 5 days of the fair for just $60. Rides, games, food, fireworks provided by Big Rock Amusement. Big Rock Amusements is providing all the activities here at the fairground. And tonight in the grandstand, tractor pulls, sponsored by Mid-Michigan Old Gas Tractor Association. At the same time, at 7 p.m., in the Dog Agility Barn, there's going to have a dog agility demonstration. So come on out for all the various things. Something happening every day right through Saturday here at the 2023 edition of the Saginaw County Fair. It's been around since 1914. Come on out and participate. Take a break. Be back with more here on Focus.
You want Cassie or you want to go with me a little longer?
Get her over here for a minute and then you come back. She can stand right there. You don't have to have her stand right there at the mic.
Perfect.
Go get her.
Hey, Cassie. Have you met Cassie? Cassie, this is Art Lewis.
Hi, Cassie. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
So I'm going to
You're
put
going to
you
use that
right
mic. Stand right over there, Cassie. I'll just tie you up for a couple of minutes.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah, we can do that.
Does that work?
Yeah,
Did I get you right there?
I think that's great.
Cassie is a senior at Michigan State University.
Oh, good deal.
Studying
You're going to have
ag.
to bend down a little
Bend
to
down.
tuck into it.
Well,
Or
lower
lift
chair.
it up, one of the other.
I can just stand, that's okay.
Okay. All right. Studying ag.
Food and natural resource education, so just an ag teacher.
Just an ag teacher.
Just an ag.
No.
Here we go.
Oh my goodness.
And we are back with you here on WSGW, chatting with Rob Clark from Michigan Sugar. But also with us right now is the Michigan Sugar Queen, and she is Cassie Acker. Cassie, good morning to you.
Good morning, how are you?
We're great. Thanks for being with us today. Going to be one of the judges in the fruit pie competition. I hope you like it. I hear tell you're a senior at Michigan State University. What are you studying?
Yes, so I'm studying ag, food, and natural resource education. So it's just agri-science or agriculture education.
So what are your hopes and dreams? What do you want to be?
Well, the goal is to work at a middle school or high school teaching agri-science, so their FFA program, or just promoting agriculture in any sort of setting.
Can I assume you're a farm girl?
Yes, slightly. My family, we didn't have a farm, but I participated in 4-H and FFA growing up, so that's where I got that background.
Really? So not being from a farm family, what drew you to FFA? What drew you to farm?
Yeah, so my dad, he does help out on occasion with some farms around the area with harvest and with planting when they need more hands. But also my cousin showed at the fair, so through that I sort of adopted that passion.
Here you are, Sugar Queen.
Yes, and now I'm the Sugar Queen.
You got a busy year, Sugar Queen.
Definitely.
A lot of appearances.
Definitely.
Rob will keep you busy.
They have been busy this month for sure.
Yeah.
I think this is our
Absolutely.
5th event this month.
Parades and everything else, right?
Cassie is also an ambassador for Michigan Grown, Michigan Great through the Michigan Ag Council. So
Yes, that
she
keeps me
is-
busy as well.
She is all over the state promoting agriculture.
Fantastic. Well, we're glad to have you here, Cassie. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Cassie Acker, the Michigan Sugar Queen, and her court is also with her this morning. And they represent the sugar industry around the state.
They do a lot of parades, but a lot of events like this. In a couple of weeks, we will be on Mackinac Island for the 2023 Fudge Festival. And that is a fun weekend, lots of fudge. I don't know if you know this, but every fudge shop on Mackinac Island uses Pioneer sugar.
No, I did.
Yeah. So
you're not shipping the small little red bags.
No, they get the 50 pounders. It's kind of cool. They bring them in on a wagon, horse-drawn wagon.
There was just a story about the anniversary.
Murdoch's
First
Fudge.
Murdoch
Yeah,
Fudge.
Murdoch's
100
Fudge.
years or something like
Yeah,
that,
it's
whatever it is.
130 some years, I think.
Yeah. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that'll be a fun weekend.
So sugar crop looks good.
Sugar crop looks good.
Which is good for the farmers because people have to realize that this company is farmer owned.
Yes. We're a grower-owned cooperative and have been since 2002.
And that's the way of the sugar industry, isn't it? It
Yeah.
pretty much has gone that way where it's co-op.
Yeah, the growers really rescued the industry many years ago. And, all of the sugar beet processing companies are cooperatives now. So
Well, yeah, by rescuing the industry, they also rescued their production.
they absolutely did.
Rescue themselves too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's worked out pretty well for them.
Yeah, it's a great crop. It's not the easiest crop to grow, but we always like to say in Michigan, especially in these parts, farmers are very good at doing things that aren't easy. They grow pickles, they grow dry beans, and sugar beets is one of their specialties.
So did I also understand that Michigan Sugar now has a new process to extract more sugar out of molasses?
We do. We're actually right in the middle of kind of what I'd call a historic project. We're building a molasses desugarization facility in Bay City. And what that's going to allow us to do is extract additional sugar from 100% of the molasses that we produce as a byproduct.
So I can assume from that then that there's more profit in sugar than there is in molasses.
There is. It's significantly higher price to sell the sugar than it is to sell the molasses. And the molasses we sell is not food grade molasses. It's sold as livestock food, so as an ingredient in livestock food.
So will you still be able to do that after extracting the sugar out of it?
Yeah, there will still be some sugar left, but we will be able to produce an additional 80 million pounds of sugar every year, just from the sugar we pull out of the molasses. 80 million pounds a year. And it's going to add significantly to the bottom line.
At one time, there was a limit on the amount of sugar coming out. So that's good.
Yeah, we produce about 1.2 billion pounds of sugar every year, and it's all sold. It's all accounted for.
Yeah, well, that's just complete. So slicing starts when?
Right now, our target startup date is September 8th, and that could change as we get closer to that date. But that's what we're tentatively thinking. So harvest will begin a couple of days before that.
So are you in the hiring process now for your seasonal help?
We absolutely are. All kinds of campaign jobs and certainly harvest jobs as well. Harvest is, there's a couple parts of that. When it starts, it's called early dig, and that will start in early September and run till mid-October, and then we'll get into what we call our permanent final harvest, where we're actually building large piles of beets, and that will in October.
And your season runs what? Probably March through slicing?
Yeah, we'd like to be done slicing by middle to late March.
Because you really need to be done, because then you start doing maintenance at home.
Absolutely.
It's a full-time thing.
It's a full-time job. Yeah, actually this year, the day after the campaign ended, the slicing campaign ended, the factories they were already tearing things apart, cleaning and maintenance. So yeah, it was a year.
And some of these plants been around a long time.
They are among the oldest sugar beet facilities in the world, certainly in the United States. The Caro sugar beet factory is the oldest in the United States. It opened in 1899.
So is the process much different today than it was in 1899 to pull that sugar out of the beet?
Yeah, no, the process is pretty much the same. The technology has changed a little bit, but the process itself has been steady ever since those plants opened.
Well, we've got 14 competitors here with their fruit pies today, and the judges are going to get underway at 12 noon. And, seeing the results.
Maple apple bacon pie.
Yeah, everything's better with bacon. We'll find out.
We'll follow that up with the rhubarb custard pie. Could get interesting out here.
We'll give you the list. These are the competitors today. Joan Gerhardt's making a triple berry surprise. Linda Schmidt making golden apple pie with caramel sauce. Shayna Newton, blueberry cinnamon pie. Carl Bruce, hometown fruit pie. Jenny Carlton making sweet cherry pie. Teresa DeVault, rhubarb custard pie. Andrea Booker making the best cherry pie you will ever eat. Sally Sidford, Michigan harvest pie. Carol Nolan, caramel apple pie. Rebecca Yeager, a mixed berry pie. Tim Rivard, blueberry raspberry pie. Emma Pappas, peach custard pie. Marjorie Demo, maple apple bacon pie. Thank you. And Emma Dupuy with blackberry cream pie. Judges have a tough job.
Somebody's
Well, Rob, thanks for coming out today, and thanks for all the goodies that you brought for all the contestants too. And good luck with the sugar harvest this year.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Art.
Rob Clark, and we thank him for being with us. We're going to take our last break, come back, and close out this edition of Ta-da.
All good. Thank you.
Yep.
So take pictures. All right.
All right, a few more pots. Thank you, Art.
Yep. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of Focus here on WSGW from the Saginaw County Fair. Thank you for joining us. We'll make room for the Farm Show with Farm Director Terry Henney, or Ambassador Lester, I'm not sure who. And that will be coming up in just a couple of minutes. Mr. Henney.
Our gift cards and everything.
Everything? Yep. I'll talk to the judges. Good.
This is a platter that you can carry those 6 little dishes.
Oh, each, yeah.
Yeah. Each contains 6 pieces. All right.
Okay, here we go.
A partly to mostly sunny good morning to you. I hope your days go well for you. Might be.
We're having ourselves a great day. We are at day number 1 in Chesapeake, Saginaw County Fair. This is the 110th annual Saginaw County Fair. Lots of activities going on, and of course, Art has been touching base with you on a lot of them. We'll follow up on that as we go through the farm program today. Also, we'll be telling you a little bit more about our Michigan fruit pie competition. All 14 contestants are here. The judges, all the judges are here. We have our Queen and her court from Michigan Sugar, Cassie, the Queen, Kaylee, and Marie here. We also have Robin Weiss and her son up in the old, they used to have an H&E bakery in the day in northern Michigan. And also we have Grace from Star of the West Milling. They are our providers of the gift for our winners. Let me talk about that. Back at Radio Center, Matthew Lester. Matthew, I bet you wish you were here to right by. We got 14 different varieties of pie. No ice cream though. I don't know. Nobody got the memo that we need ice cream. That's the way it works. But for right now, I guess we'll just have to go with the pie. And I think by the time we're all said and done, our judges are going to be pretty well showed up. And the Queen and the court are here. We've been busy ladies, and maybe I'll have a chance to watch them start judging. Judging begins at noon. Right now, Art is going through all of the rules and regulations that people are going to need here as we get ready for the live contest. As far as the weather goes, well, for the most part, we're looking at a pretty nice day. We had a nice day yesterday. Not nearly as humid as what we had been using as far as readings go, where instead of the upper 50s and the 60s, we were down in the low to mid 40s. But unfortunately, not everybody was that dry. There were some spots, especially over in Michigan's Thumb, that picked up heavy downpours and